Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two teams here looking to find a way to win. It's the Chiefs coming in at 9-0, going up against the Buccaneers, who come in at 5-4. So let's get you out to Kansas City as we say hello to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by the #1 overall pick of these Bucs in the 2015 draft. Out of Florida State, the former Noel, Jameis Winston.
And he's always been a gym rat. He's always been a guy who just absolutely loves the game and loves everything about preparation. Watching tape, rallying teammates. He has a charisma that's just off the charts. How does he get better, though? Starting in year 2? Well, he worked out in the offseason, lost weight, reconfigured his body. I think it's just a matter of continuing to take care of the football and continuing to lead his team. Because you know in Tampa Bay, they #believe in Jameis. But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Jameis to throw it. And this is caught by Jackson. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Dontari Poe emerged on the scene fast as a young player and continues to make big plays at defensive tackle.
Winston gives to Martin on the draw. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop. Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Brian Anger in his 5th year out of Cal on to punt it away. The rookie 5th-rounder Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Charles the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. The play clock's running down. On 1st and 10, Smith. And this is incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Smith. A dump off for Charles. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Charles. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
You know, early in his career, the knock on Alex Smith was that he broke the pocket way too quickly and relied strictly on his legs instead of using his arm to throw the ball downfield. Now, as a veteran, he understands the line a whole lot better. When to take off, when to stay in the pocket. Does it quite well, and last year ran for nearly 500 yards. Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Darryl Smith. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Ball start, offense. Still first down.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Surveying the field. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. To throw, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Play clock winding down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Again, it's Martin. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And Blake has it over the middle. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Winston now from the 50. That's complete, middle of the field to Humphreys. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
At the end of 1, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They run it again with Martin, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And out come the Chiefs now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough.
And a loose football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And break. The tight end's got it. A gain of 6 there on first. Second down and 4.
Now, that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Winston now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll run. Martin. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Here's Winston. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is third and goal.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will actually break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now the rookie, Roberto Aguayo, for the Bucs field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. To throw on second down is Smith. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Jameis on second down. Jackson's got it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They come up in an offset eye. Winston now to throw on first down. Evans has it left side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To the air again with Winston. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first and 10, Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Doug Martin, and that'll bring up second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
On second down, Martin. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. So the run gets him the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. One man in the backfield, that's Martin. First down, Winston. That's caught at the 3. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On second down, here's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Smith. And able to find Conley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
And he takes it across midfield to the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
To throw is Smith, and Hill with it over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Throwing again is Smith. Screen pass to Charles. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
To throw on second down is Smith. That is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Chris Conley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have tied it, and they can take the lead with the extra point. And he'll bang that one through. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Winston now to throw on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. 10 yards still left on second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Over the middle to Evans. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful.
And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Throwing on third down, Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he loses the football a second time. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. One receiver to the left is Evans. Now Winston. And the Chiefs are going to get him. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Chiefs have to like how they've played so far. The Buccaneers really looked great last week, but it hasn't been so easy for them in this one. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Midway through the first quarter, quick pass and catch by Charles, and he'll end up picking up 13 yards on the play. Chiefs would end up throwing a pick on the drive. Offense on the field now after the pick. Hill's found on the quick pass, and it ends up working for a touchdown. Chiefs is up now by 7. Chiefs ball early in the second. Kelsey's going to make the catch, but fumble here, and the pass and catch will end up going for 56 yards. Buccaneers lined up at the 10. Evans able to get open here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Bucs on top by 6. Late in the second, the pass will be completed on the slant, and finally on play 12, they score. The Chiefs go up by 1. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Guyton.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Smith now to throw. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to Travis Kelsey. I think he's starting to come into his own as a tight end and as a player, and that makes his quarterback, Alex Smith, really happy.
Time running out here on the play clock. A first down carry here for Charles. Jamal Charles, nobody in front. The 20. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jamal Charles with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs defense, they get set and ready to do battle again. They come up in an offset eye. They try to fire up the running game with Martin. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Jay Howard coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you, because it seems to be working pretty well. Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Jamal Charles now gearing up to go again on offense. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, it certainly appears that Jamal Charles has his mojo working right now. Already ripped off some really nice runs, but you've got to get to these guys early, because if you do, you get them on the ground, put a little doubt in their minds about whether or not they're going to break big runs. But now, Jamal Charles has nothing but confidence.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say they're giving him confidence, the former third-round pick in 2008. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Back to throw, Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the second half, doesn't it?
It really does, and now you give your team more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them setting the tone and picking up their defense. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now that has to be frustrating for the offense. They caught him in a dime package, 6 defensive backs on the field. If you're going to run draw and run your big guys at smaller people, you should have success on that play. Instead, the defense won the battle.
Jameis to throw it. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bucs are within a 2-point conversion of tying us up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you put something out there, you're giving yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
As they've done all day, they run with Charles. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On second down, here's Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they...
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Throwing, Winston. Now he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. The NFL sack leader from 2014, Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
And the play clock's running down. Smith, they complete it to Hill. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Hard throw, incomplete. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Smith, and this is caught. He hits Macklin. That one good for 10 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. 2nd down following the run. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know...
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. It's the Bucs' new signee from New York, Robert Ayers. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A second down throw for Winston. Drops it off to Martin. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a third down. An extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
To throw, Winston. He's got time. Well, this is caught by Jackson. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Winston now from the 50. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Chris Jones, the rookie from Mississippi State, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Still first down.
From his goal line here, Smith being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 13 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Calling a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it, because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The five-time Pro Bowler, Tom Mahali, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. One receiver to the left is Evans. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. 3rd and long for Winston. Oh, the hurdle. Oh, right side caught by Jackson. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Aguayo's kick is good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Here comes the defensive unit now for the Buccaneers onto the field. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time, force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post with a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3 and out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3 and outs, get to the bench, get your rest, hope your offense can control the game.
Here's Smith, finding time. Quick slant, that's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. A lot of time in the pocket there, and the quarterback able to find an open throwing lane, and he delivered.
What a terrific job by the guys up front, able to tamp down the pass rush that they've been getting all day.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, here's Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. 3rd and long, it's Smith. Screen pass to Charles. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Smith going to turn and give to Charles. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On the run, it's Charles. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Smith will hand it off here to Charles. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They run it. It's Charles. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll let Charles try and get him in. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jamal Charles, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you already see him scrambling down there. They're getting those defense. And look at this. They get the turnover. And look out. I think he's going to go. Picked up by Levante David. He's at the 30. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing. The interception, if he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And with 45 seconds showing, he spikes the football. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. Back to throw. He's got Evans. And a nice gain at 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. He's back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football. But today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. The target that time was Vincent Jackson. And now it's 4th down. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Kansas City, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.